Are you looking for the best gsync monitors? In this video we will look at some of the best gsync monitors on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Dell Alienware AW3423DW. The Dell Alienware AW3423DW is the best gsync monitor that we've tested. It's an ultra-wide display with a 34-inch screen and 3440 by 1440 resolution, which is great if you like playing FPS or atmospheric games, as you can see more of the game at once. It's also fantastic if your games have a lot of fast-moving content because it has a near-instantaneous response time that results in minimal motion blur. It has a max 175 Hz refresh rate, which you can achieve with a DisplayPort connection. On top of its excellent gaming performance, it delivers exceptional picture quality, with a QD OLED panel with perfect black levels and no blooming in dark rooms. It also displays a wide range of colors and gets bright for a satisfying HDR experience, which is great if you play HDR games. Unfortunately, QD OLEDs like this one are prone to burn-in when exposed to the same static elements over time, like if you leave it on the same gaming menu all the time, but this isn't a big concern for most gamers. If it concerns you, you can also consider the LG 34GP950GB, another ultra-wide monitor with native gsync support, but it has worse picture quality. Number 2. Dell Alienware AW2524H. If you're a competitive esports gamer and you want something with a high refresh rate, there are a few great options for you. The Dell Alienware AW2524H is very different from the Dell Alienware AW3423DW because it focuses on high-end gaming performance instead of the outstanding picture quality of the AW3423DW, and it also has a smaller screen. However, the AW2524H has an extremely high 500 Hz refresh rate, and with a 1080p resolution, you can focus on playing games at high refresh rates instead of games with high-quality details. If that's something you prefer, the ASUS ROG Swift 360Hz PG27AQN is another option with a 1440p resolution and 360Hz refresh rate, but it also costs more. The AW2524H delivers an impressive gaming experience with an incredibly fast response time at its max refresh rate. The response time remains quick even at lower refresh rates, meaning motion looks smooth with any type of game. It also has a backlight strobing to further reduce persistence blur, but it only works between 120 Hz and 360 Hz, and you can't use it simultaneously with VRR. This monitor also has a few features, including NVIDIA's Reflex Latency Analyzer, so you can identify which sources cause the most delay. Still, you need a compatible mouse for that feature to work. Number 3. ASUS ROG Swift PG279QM. If you don't need such a high refresh rate monitor, or you find the Dell Alienware AW3423DW and the Dell Alienware AW2524H, consider the ASUS ROG Swift PG279QM. It has a lower 240 Hz refresh rate than the AW2524H, so while you can't play games at such a high refresh rate, it's still good enough for most gamers. The main advantage of this getting over the Dell is that it has a higher 1440p resolution and larger screen, offering a more immersive gaming experience with more detailed and sharper images. It's also an impressive gaming monitor with an excellent response time that remains consistently fast, no matter the refresh rate you're gaming at. While it doesn't have a backlight strobing feature like the Dell, motion looks smooth regardless. Like the Dell monitor, it also supports NVIDIA's Reflex Latency Analyzer to measure the latency of your entire setup, a neat feature that can help improve your gaming experience. Number 4. ASUS ROG Swift 360Hz PG259QN. If you find the ASUS ROG Swift PG279QM too expensive, the market for getting a cheaper gsync monitor is limited. It's because having native gsync support always comes at a premium, but if you're looking for a gsync monitor on a budget, some 1080p options cost less than 1440p models. An example would be the ASUS ROG Swift 360Hz PG259QN, which has a smaller 25-inch screen and 1080p resolution than the PG279QM. However, because the lower resolution requires less bandwidth, it's also easier for your graphics card to take advantage of the monitor's 360Hz refresh rate by hitting higher frame rates. The response time at 360Hz and 120Hz is impressive, and you won't notice any motion blur. While the response time is slower with 60Hz signals, motion still looks good. Although the monitor has an optional backlight strobing feature to reduce persistence blur, it only works with 144Hz or 240Hz fixed signals, but the motion handling is good even without it.